Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 500. No, I'm going to do that again. Wow.
Where have you been?
I have no idea where that came from. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 115 of the Everything Moto Racing podcast. That was actually a second attempt at saying that. I hope you're well. I hope you had a great week. I'm here with Cameron, because we haven't actually got Lauren until like December, because none of our schedules are lining up, which is great.
That's a shame, that, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, genuinely is a shame.
It is. Lauren's always got a good take, and it just means that a higher percentage of the podcast is now me rambling utter nonsense. So, apologies.
Yeah.
Feel free to tune back in sort of December and the new year. It's up to you. But here we are.
Could be worse. Could be an angry other person rambling nonsense. So, at least it's not that.
Anyway, what happened this weekend?
One more thing before I say. Obviously, it's episode 115, which is a good gaming reference. I'm going to leave it to the audience to maybe work out that gaming reference, but 115 is quite a significant number in a certain video game series. So send in
Gaming
what you
reference.
think that might be. I'll tell you, Cameron, afterwards.
Well, I feel like I know what it is, but I'm going to have a quick Google just to make sure. Anyway, carry on. I'm just Googling this.
Okay. Well, I've just typed in 115 gaming and it's not coming up, so that's good. But there is a yeah, it's quite a big things. So 115. Anywho,
yeah. Sorry, carry on.
115 to 46, shall we say? It's a little terrible transition to Tommy Bridewell.
Oh, yeah.
Finally becoming a BSB champion at 35 years old.
Credit, though. A hell of a ride.
Half a point.
Half a point. And that is the beauty of the scoring system
in BSB.
You can...
The fact that...
Yeah, go on.
No, carry on. You were saying something.
I was just saying the fact that you can... It's like possible to actually win a title by half a point. Not even 1 point like we've seen in the past. Half a point. And that is what happened.
Point, yeah.
How many times did the title sort of change hands throughout?
In the last race?
Last race? 8 times.
In 20 laps.
In 20 laps. I mean, if you want to show... And like we've said before, if you want to show without the electronics and the rider aids and the aero and the yada yada, and you want an exciting point system and tracks that are kind of dangerous, to be honest, in terms of like narrow runoffs, all that. If you just want a bit of a thrill, then BSB's where it's at next season now. But
the fact that 33 races... 440 odd points, whatever it was, and it went down to like 440 points scored, and it went down to half a point with 3 riders in it in the final race of the season. It wasn't just like it was Tommy and Glenn Irwin battling out. Kyle Ryde was still in it, and if Tommy and Glenn Irwin had knocked each other off, Kyle was in champion.
Yeah, because
that has happened. Yeah. That has happened at Donington. It's not even like it's out of the realms of possibility. It has happened at Donington.
Yeah.
And Ryde won that race, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah, it did. It did. It was that kept Kyle in the game to the very last race. That crash.
Yeah. Well, the fact that because Glenn scored 0 points that weekend. And it's just mad to think that even if he scored 1 point, he could have ridden round and gone, you know what, I'm just going to ride round and come in 15th this race, and it would have won him a championship. It is mental.
It's honestly... It's just absolutely wild. And like, it almost would have been really poetic and summed up kind of the entire season if that did happen. If Glenn and Tommy had... come together at the end and Kyle had won it, it would have just been a very sort of poetic being like, it was inevitable. It was going to end this way. Do you know what I mean? It didn't. Thankfully, everyone got home safe. Well, I think maybe there were 1 or 2 offs, but like...
Yeah, Christian Odin had a massive eyesight.
Oh, he did, yeah. That wasn't in the final race, though.
That was race 2, I think, or 1. I can't remember, yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty. Yeah, but yeah, it almost felt scripted if they had sort of taken each other out. But either way, the whole season felt like it was being written by some kind of Netflix writers or something. It was a wild, hell of a season. Really excited for next year. We need more than 33 races, but I'm sure the writers don't agree with that.
Yeah. Unlike MotoGP, it seems to just cram every race they can. Is it 22 races next year? Mental.
22 rounds, 44 races.
Yeah, 22 rounds, 44 races, yeah. Which is wild. But yeah, before we get... It's a bit too much, I think. Before we get into the meat and veg and potatoes and whatever of this podcast, I don't really know. I'm thinking about pasties now, funnily enough. I want to give a shout out to Rob eBray42 on Instagram because he lost a bet recently with me, funnily enough. And the bet was he would tattoo the Everything Moto Racing logo on his body if Marc Marquez left Honda. Because I was like, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And he was like, nah, I get your logo tattooed on my body if he leaves. And he's booked it in for next week.
You're kidding. Oh my god, this is maybe amazing.
The worst tattoo ever, like. But yeah, he was gonna get it done this week, but he can't. So,
I can't wait to see this. I hope it's a well done tattoo, too. But then also hilarious. Where's he getting it? Is it
probably on his leg? I think.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, that's
that is nuts.
Yeah, the fact he's going through with it, like, fair play. Like, he doesn't have to go through it. I've even said you don't actually have to do it, but he's doing it. So
you don't have to permanently alter your body,
damage your body,
for the sake of a silly bet. Everyone's a winner here, really.
Yeah, we are. Oh yeah. Well, thinking of that funny tattoos and stuff. Did you see Aleix View's story the other day on Instagram?
No.
You may have seen it on Sean Dillon Kelly or Garrett Gerloff's. Basically, Aleix lost a bet and got Garrett Gerloff's number tattooed on his leg.
Oh wait, yeah, actually, no, I think I did see that.
Yeah, amazing,
brilliant.
Yeah, but circling back onto Marc Marquez, he has now finally officially been confirmed at Gresini, which means we can finally stop talking about it.
Yep, that's it. We can all go home. It's just mental how it was announced the day after we did the last pod, and we were sitting here being like, so annoying. We're waiting for it to happen. But
then bang, gone,
as expected, it did. Isn't it sort of technically correct that he's actually signed for Gresini and not Ducati though? But obviously he is going to be on a Ducati.
Yeah, so he's signed for Gresini. He'll ride a Ducati. He's not got a Ducati official contract. So it means he's free to leave after a year, and if the rumours of KTM are drop then he can kind of jump ship again. But
drop ship.
Yeah, I don't know why I said jump ship. But he will be on a year-old bike, so he will be on a GP23, which you're like, oh, no, that's not great. But then when you look at Bastianini, who was on a year-old bike and got third overall in the world, Bezzecchi's on a year-old bike now and is third overall in the world. Marquez on a year-old bike doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, and I mean, so the GP22, when it came in last year, obviously, it took a little bit for it to be sorted. Whereas the GP23 this year, it did the triple first round.
Yeah.
It was sorted immediately.
Yeah, so, straight off the bat.
Yeah, like it's shall we say, got a year of solid data behind it, not 6 months like the GP22 did at the start of this year. Confusing myself with dates now. So it is an exciting prospect for an 8-time world champion to be jumping onto the bike that is, well, first and second in the title so far this year.
And third at the moment.
And
is third, I think.
Who's third?
Yeah, Bezzecchi is third overall.
GP22 though.
Oh yeah,
right?
Sorry, I thought you meant just Ducati. Yeah, so
no,
1-2 is GP23. Yeah.
Well,
sorry, the fact we have to specify which Ducatis in the top 3 is hilarious.
Either way, like I'm pretty sure he could jump on a GP21 and still be doing more than he's doing on the Honda right now.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know where else to go from that. Exciting, cool, great. It's happening. Someone's getting a tattoo because he lost a bet.
Yeah.
Grand. Excited.
Fantastic.
Excited to see
I'm excited.
Test.
Well, it's funny, all the Ducati riders are quite excited as well. Jorge Martin said he was very excited because they get to see Marquez's data. They've never been able to see that anymore. Before, sorry.
Nope.
So Jorge Martin, I can imagine... I can just... Obviously, because going back to when Cal Crutchlow said he looked at Marquez's data, tried to ride like Marquez, and like tried to... nearly crashed, doing exactly what Marquez did. And the fact that Marquez was doing it every lap, every corner was like absolutely mental to Cal Crutchlow. So it's interesting to see if Martin and Bagnaia can look at Marquez's data and the same thing happens where they are like that far away from Marquez because he's able to ride the bike to that. But it also is it's an unknown quantity because, yeah, of course, the Ducati is the best bike on the grid. The fact that finally Fabio Di Gia is performing as well and got 4th place is very good showing.
Incredible.
That's all 8 Ducatis now have at least finished in the top 4 this season, I believe. Yeah, because everyone's at a podium barring Di Gia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Alex Marquez had podiums, of course. But Enea Bastianini hasn't. Enea Bastianini has not.
Oh yeah, the other factory rider.
Yeah, forgot about him.
Jesus.
But okay, all of them barring Enea, who has been injured for most of the season and got punted off at Mandalika. Even Di Gia can now get it there. Of course, it's an unknown quantity. Marquez, I can't imagine it happening in any planet. But Marquez could hop on that Ducati and hate it. Could suck. He's even said, Alex Marquez has even come out and said that Marquez said he will retire if he can't make the Ducati work. That's how much of a risk he's taken. And there's no certainty that it will work for Marquez.
No, exactly. This is it, like we keep saying. It just, 1 + 1 doesn't necessarily equal 2 in this sport. There's got to be a gelling between a rider and a bike. Not just the fact that it's a good bike, and vice versa. You can jump on a terrible bike, but if it just happens to work for you, let's say like Stoner in 2007.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Pig of a bike, absolutely shocking.
Melandri was miles back on the same thing. 17th, I think, overall in that factory Ducati.
Yeah, and yet rode the thing like it was. Well, I mean, we'll not get too into what we think of Stoner, but like obviously
it's his birthday today as well, I think. Happy birthday, Stoner.
Happy birthday. Like Stoner, obviously a very deserving world champion, hell of a rider, and it just worked on that bike. It suited him. I'm sure there were, well, I mean, we've seen who's that he did the podcast with, where he's basically saying like how terrified he was basically all the time. Was it
Gypsy Tales? Gypsy Tales pod.
Yeah, Gypsy Tales.
Amazing podcast. Really good podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure, like maybe that's the difference. And obviously, like Stoner then jumped on a Honda, which arguably was the best bike at the time, or near enough, and did it again. But yeah, circling back to the original point. It's not always a certainty. It's not always obvious that this plus this is going to be great. It might not. However, considering what we've seen of the Ducatis this year and the fact that they clearly, like, any rider can make it work to a degree, like, you have to think that Marquez is going to be a weapon on it. But we will see.
Yeah, and it's exciting because, of course, Marquez is going there. It's exciting to see Franco Morbidelli maybe being in that mix once again as well.
Yes. Oh, we forgot about him. And on a race-winning team on the GP24, He's got to make it work. Frankie has to prove that he earned that seat for sure. Otherwise, is he on a 2-year deal? Or no, it's just a 1, wasn't it? We talked about this.
I think it's 1 to put him back in line with everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Well, moving away from Marquez, because I think people are a bit bored of it. His replacement is very much rumoured to be Fabio Di Giannantonio.
Is it now?
It is. And to add to that little debacle or whatever you want to call it, the Repsol Honda Team MotoGP official Instagram page posted today a photo of Digia and Mir together, with Mir staring over at Digia and a caption of some eyes. Just stirring the pot just a little bit more.
Interesting. I mean, that seems rather suggestive, doesn't it?
It does.
And I'd be happy for Digia to be getting another chance, because I mean, I think
he deserves one. He's come on a lot.
Something. Yeah, he has. He's come a long way, and the Honda seems to be getting better. It's got a long way to go, but maybe they just need someone like Digia who's he's still pretty young, isn't he? Digia, what, like 24?
He's 24, I think, at max. Let's have a look. I can't type for life. Fabio Digia is 25. He's actually 25 as of 6 days ago, yeah.
He's right, okay. So he's still got plenty of years left in him. You know, between him and Mir, like, you like to think that they can get something going. I think they need... Well, I mean, obviously, they've still got Rins. They have got Rins at LCR. I was just, like, I feel like they need to...
Well, they've got Rins at LCR for now. Zarco's going there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, true. I'm forgetting that. Sorry. Well, I mean, that's it. Like, so, obviously, Ducati's... The one thing that sort of exponentially set them apart from the rest is the fact that they have so many bikes on the grid and so much data now. And I think the other teams need to be adopting this approach of sharing the data and really working with the satellite teams, not treating them as almost an afterthought, like customers, because, you know. So,
well, like with the new swing arms and things, the new chassis, Marquez and Mir have been using them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Rins, sorry, now you can't test the bike, can't test them, can't use them." And it's like what?
Like multiple race winner, Alex Rins. Surely his input and qualitative data and quantitative data is so valuable.
Especially compared with Mir as well. Him and Mir were on a very competitive package last year, and both of the data would be very important. And they're like, you know what, we'll use Mir and we'll continue with what we've already got that's not really working.
Yeah.
And we'll put Rins over there, and then, we signed for Yamaha. That's so weird.
Yeah, what? Strange. God, yeah. No, that's the attitude, the fundamental attitude that's got to change. Because, like, KTM and GasGas, they've got the more sort of Ducati approach.
Yeah.
Right? It's I mean, I don't know if they all share data or what, but, like, it's not...
Yeah, they will do, yeah.
Yeah, they're not, like, giving them parts out of the spares bin.
No, exactly. They're all on pretty much the same bike.
Yeah.
There might be the odd part here and there, but if for example, Jack's testing something new, there's every chance that Polo Espargaro will also test the same part, or same in Aprilia. I mean, they're on older bikes, Miguel and Fernandez, but if a new part comes available, they do get the chance to use it, especially Oliveira.
Yeah. I think that's potentially a capacity thing with Aprilia as well. Just maybe don't have the same kind of resource
it's the first year.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it's still a bit of an experiment for them. But yeah, it's just a sort of attitude shift to satellite teams that the others, namely Yamaha, well, Yamaha don't have any right now, but the Japanese manufacturers need to adopt the same sort of ethos with their network of bikes on the grid, essentially. Yeah,
and Ducati were kind of first to it all, because I remember it always being Ducati factory, newest bikes. Pramac always had last year's bikes. And then as time went on, riders like Dino Petrucci, Andrea Iannone got to have more up-to-date bikes, more current bikes, and then I think it was like Scott Redding was on a year old and Petrucci was on a current bike, and then eventually it became a thing where it was like, no, okay, we'll put them all on the same bike, and then obviously other manufacturers kind of copied that with like Yamaha, for example, with Pol Espargaro. Pol Espargaro got to be on a Yamaha factory contract, whilst Bradley Smith was on a satellite contract, meaning Pol got all the nice shiny bits and Bradley didn't. And then eventually again, then Yamaha changed that, and then both riders on Yamaha contract, and the same with Honda. He kind of adapted as it is, and like Rins is signed to Honda, but he's still not getting the same parts as everybody else. Whereas last year, who was in LCR last year? I can't even remember. Why has that slipped my mind? Marquez. That's so weird. Alex Marquez. Yeah, that's right. Alex Marquez did get some access to some of these parts. And it's just a bit weird.
A name thing, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, but we're not in the grid. We don't know for certain.
No.
But like, it's no coincidence that those sort of approaches and are clearly diverging or have diverged in the past, and one kind of group of manufacturers are nailing it week in, week out, because they've got everything's data driven now, especially with all the aero and tech and yada yada everyone's going on about. And then, you know, it's really, really hit and miss for the other group of teams, group of manufacturers, so to speak. And there's a clear difference in approach. That's my take on it, really.
Yeah. I mean, Ducati kind of showed that if you support everyone, help everyone out, maybe you might just find a solution, and having more bikes providing more data only helps in the long run, I think. And I guess, again, it comes down to like things like budgets and stuff like that. Like I remember Cal Crutchlow when he was in the LCR squad, and he was given a lot of parts to test. And like I remember complaining because Stefan Bradl was doing a wild card and he was using this new swing arm, and Cal Crutchlow was meant to get it afterwards, and then Bradl crashed it and destroyed it. Oh. And Cal was a bit like, oh, great. So I was going to get that part, and now I can't because someone's destroyed it. But, you know, Cal got access to all these things. And it's so weird that even at the start of Rins' contract, even before Yamaha was even in the picture, Honda were just so adamantly like, no, you're not using the Calax frame. No, you're not testing this, that, and the other. And it's just so strange that they cast Rins out a little bit when he won 2 races last year, in the last 2 races, should I say. Yeah. You know, on a bike that had stopped really being developed. They did do testing and they did develop it a bit, but there obviously was a point where the buck stopped and they were like, right, there's no point investing money in this project anymore because it will be obsolete in a few months' time. And Rins still took that bike to wins against the best riders in the world at Phillip Island and then at Valencia, which is a completely different track, atmosphere, weather, everything, and still got the job done.
I find it...
And yet Honda are like, nah.
Yeah. I find it actually really like alien and bizarre to think
it is odd.
Another bike beating a Ducati. No?
What do you mean?
I mean, obviously with like Martin run a form, but recently, but like between Martin and Pecco and just and Bez, like the whole sort of just arsenal that Ducati have right now, I just find it mental to think that there was a time, not really that long ago, I mean a year ago, that they were being, or they got beat in the dry.
Yeah, like, because I mean, you look at this year and Ducati have won every race bar USA, which was Honda, obviously Silverstone, which was Aprilia, and then Catalunya, which was Aprilia. Barring those 3 races, we've had 15. So 80% of every race has been won by a Ducati this year.
Yeah. And like,
which is nuts.
Let's not forget as well, because I know this is such a big talking point with the Yamaha, the Suzuki was an inline 4.
Yeah.
And it beat them.
It did.
Take from that what you will. But I just find, I find it, it's so sad as well, because the Suzuki was the best looking bike on the grid, and it's gone.
It was gorgeous.
And it could beat the Ducatis, not every weekend, it must be said, but it could, and it did. In the hands of Alex Wins, and yet he's being sort of not treated as is pertinent to his status,
as he deserves, really.
Yeah.
I need to correct myself as well, because it wasn't the last 2 races of the year Wins won. It was 2 of the last 3, because there was a Malaysia sandwiched in between. Yeah. But like the last 4 races of last year, KTM, then Suzuki, then Ducati, then Suzuki again. So they won 1 in 4. I mean, obviously, before that, there was 6 straight wins in a row for Ducati. But if we skew it in that way...
it's a bizarre thing to imagine. And like even last year, people were complaining about it being a sort of Ducati dominance. And this year's been another level again. It's just been kind of exciting that there's maybe... been more than one potential sort of victor, shall we say, and then also like Martin's kind of come from nowhere from the start of the season to just suddenly come at it like this. But yeah,
it's wild. Like you go into 2014, 14 races, Ducati won 2 of them. That's it.
Insane.
And it's wild because it was Yamaha, KTM, Ducati, KTM, Yamaha, Ducati, Suzuki, Yamaha, KTM, and Suzuki won the championship. Despite Yamaha just absolutely dominating that list.
When was this? 2014?
2020.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 2014. My bad.
So, 14 races in 2020. I may have said 2014.
Sorry.
But then you get the year before, it's just Honda.
Well, yeah. It's Marquez, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know what the solution is, but they need to do more, essentially. They need to stop just trying to make it look like a Ducati and make it actually go better than one.
Is that Honda?
Yeah, sorry, I'm going back to Honda. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, just because that was literally the last word out of your mouth. So that's
where
my brain went. Anyway.
Yeah, well... Anyway, on to the actual Indonesian GP, because we did last podcast and we're like, oh, there's not really much to talk about. And like, there's a whole blooming Grand Prix coming up, dude, and you've not barely spent a word about it.
Yeah. Why was that? I don't
even know. I think I was maybe in a bit of a rush, I can't remember.
Yeah, we tried to keep it short, and there was... And Marquez had just announced he was leaving Honda, so that sort of took over.
Well, yeah, but Indonesian GP... I am very, very, very impressed because before the weekend it looked like Bastianini, Marini and Bezzecchi weren't going to ride. You know, we said loads of like, oh, you know, we're going to have to look for replacements for them. Who's going to ride it? Maybe Dylan Bertucci. And then all 3 riders went and all passed their tests and were fit to ride. Alex Marquez was fit to ride as well with his broken ribs. And we very nearly, for the first time this year, had every rider line up for a race, but Alex Marquez was ruled out with pain in his ribs after FP1 or F2, and that was it. So we still haven't actually seen all the riders on the grid, which is nuts. And 30 races down.
Do you think we're going to?
I think maybe if Alex Marquez is actually okay by Phillip Island, yes.
Just
or maybe Sepang
waiting for a training crash or something.
No, Thailand after. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's not really much training they can do now because it's just back to back to back to back races.
Yeah, straight to Australia, I suppose. Yeah, it's but I mean, well, like you're saying though, very impressed with that. And then on top of that, the fact that Marini and Bez brought home podiums in a brutally hot race.
Yeah, like, with broken collarbones. Bez had been operated on like 5 days prior.
Yep.
Then got on a plane got there, jet lagged out of his mind, probably still drugged up from the hospital, and got a podium.
Got a podium
in the sprint.
Yeah, sprint.
Wow.
How did he do in the main race?
Fifth in the main race, fifth.
I mean, it's not all.
Very respectable.
Yes, considering the attrition that everybody faced and how brutal it was. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff.
Very, very, very impressive. And obviously, like we mentioned earlier, Didier with a P4, his best ever result in MotoGP, I think prior to that was like a P8. And he got in 4th place in his own right. You know, there were a few crashes and stuff, but he still overtook like Bastianini, Miller, Binder, Bazzetti.
Yeah. He was ahead of some good names.
Very, very impressive. And I think it's that weird thing that happens with a rider where they lose their seat and suddenly they become like the best version of themselves. Like we saw with Rinaldi in Superbike the other week. Like, oh, he's out of Aruba. All right, let's go and win a race at Aragon then.
Yep.
You're like, where has this come from, dude?
It's always Ducati riders. It's always Ducati as well.
They dominate the whole thing, don't they?
Well, yeah. But as soon as a Ducati rider loses their seat.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I can actually ride a motorbike, by the way.
Yeah.
Get themselves in the shop window.
But then, also, like, Augusto Fernandez got a 4th place earlier this year. In his, 6th round?
Something stupid like
that. Le Mans? Yeah. So, you gotta say, it's likely, well, we know it's too little too late, but it's, as brutal as it sounds, it's like there's just no room to be taking that long to get a top 4, top 5 on a Ducati in MotoGP at the moment.
That makes sense. Like P4s can happen. Like Hector Barbara got a P4 a few times. Lois Baz. I think Jesco Raffin, who famously got his seat barred by Dorna for being not good enough, got a P4 at Phillip Island one year. And so it's like, it's very impressive, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but it's like he has actually made a lot of progress in the last few rounds as well. Like I don't want to take anything away from him. You know, he has come on leaps and bounds recently, and he's always been up there. You know, he's scoring points in the sprint races for the first time in Motegi. He finished the race in 8th, and he's obviously 4th, and he got 6th in the sprint race in Indonesia. He is there, and he is ahead of like Augusto Fernandez, Marc Marquez and stuff in the championship, and I just don't want to like take anything away from that from him.
No, for sure. Yeah.
It's like, is it a fluke? We're going to Phillip Island next week or this weekend, which again is not a good indicator of how riders can do, because it's one of those fluke tracks where you can pick up a fluke result or just a result that maybe doesn't show your true level. It's a very much a track that can equal everybody out. For example, obviously it's funny now saying it now that he's a MotoGP world champion, but Francesco Bagnaia in 2019 as a rookie, his best result was he got 7th in Austria, 9th in America. Apart from that, outside the top 10, lots of crashes. When he rocks up to Phillip Island, 4th.
Yeah,
his rookie year. And again, that's not putting anyone down, but Phillip Island is one of those tracks that can just pull up a spectacular result, and we'll see this weekend. But it's if Didier can then, because Honda have a little bit of time. I think they've got Liccarona waiting in the wings. They have choices. Didier doesn't really have that much time. He needs to now put a good result on the board in Australia and then back it up in Thailand. I think if he can do 3 like that, additional to his Japan, his Indonesia, I think I think it's good enough to get the Honda seat. I think
good for his stock value.
It's a stock. But there are lots of rumors though, because like Oliveira has been like, his name's been banded around everywhere for that Repsol, and even like Aprilia Massimo Rivola was like, no, he's under contract. This is not happening. we were all 4 riders, please stop talking to us about this. And then Oliveira was like, it's very interesting. Going to a factory bike would be great. You know, it's always an honor to ride for Honda, blah, 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 blah. And then there was just, it's just a bit odd. I think because he's a satellite rider as well. Satellite riders often, I don't know if it's the case of Oliveira, have a clause in the contract that says that they can leave the contract if a factory ride comes available anywhere on the grid.
Yep.
Which could be the case for Oliveira.
But then, if you're Oliveira, you know that Aleix is likely retiring at the end of his next contract.
I think he's even said like that it'll be his last one.
Which is it's fair, like absolutely.
Yeah.
Surely next in line for that seat is Oliveira, you would think.
Or is it Quartararo? Quartararo leaves Yamaha at the end of 24. Aleix retires. He goes to Aprilia.
Also, yeah, silly season next year is going to be very silly.
Yeah, with Marquez on a free contract at the end of 24. Quartararo free contract. Ooh,
I think, do you know what? You might be right because, like,
free agents.
Well, this weekend showed that Quartararo still is one hell of a rider. Like,
if he had a good bike, he'd have won that race. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, definitely. If he had the ability to get the drive out of, I don't know, where was it, like turn 7 and 8 or something?
Any of the turns, really. Yeah, to get past Vinales.
If he had the drive to be able to just level someone, but it's the fact that he can't get close enough to just level someone and do a block pass.
Because he can beat him on the brakes, hand down, every day.
Yeah, anyone.
Easy.
Anyone.
Fabio can, outstanding on the brakes.
And, like, but he can't get into a position. He's got to outbrake himself so late that it's dangerous. Rather than just leveling someone and doing a block pass or whatever, he's got to dangerously overtake, which is just not fair, to be honest. And he did an incredible job with his tools this weekend. Where was Frankie? In fact, did Frankie crash?
And then remounted and finished 4 laps down.
Yeah, and he's just I think just waiting for Pramac pastures, isn't he? He's just right. He's just getting the next few rounds over with.
Yeah, that's it. 10 races left and he's done.
Yep.
But yeah, it's very interesting, and there's a lot going on at the front end of the field as well with Jorge Martin, who has done very well recently, obviously, then gained the championship lead, and within 24 hours of gaining that lead, lost it. And I've got a stat for you. Credit to Nicky Kovacs on Twitter, who worked out Jorge Martin led the MotoGP championship for 23 hours, 59 minutes and 32 seconds.
Oh my
so
goodness.
He didn't even lead it for a full 24 hours.
Oh, but do you think that's going to change?
Yes.
Yeah.
7 points in it. There are still 5 rounds to go. So what's that? 37 times 5 is 185 points in it.
Yeah. And there's what? 17 between them?
7. I think, wait, there might be 17 now. Yeah,
17.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
17.
My God. Hold on. 3, 4, 6 minus 3, 2, 8. 18 points. Oh my God. Jorge Martin has blown it. I didn't even realize it. To get from 3 points back, lead it by 7 to drop 18 under. Wow.
Yep. That is a clear indicator of, well, why Martin managed to catch up so fast is because if you bin it, there's a lot of points on offer to basically the other one. Like either Bagnaia or Martin are going to win the race at the moment, aren't they? Maybe Bez. But like either of those two guys are picking up 30 plus points per weekend. And if you don't finish a race, you're giving up a lot of points to the other one. And I think this is what we're going to see over the next couple of weekends. I think we're going to see just a flip-flop of the championship.
I really hope so.
I do too.
Like, thing with Martin is he was faster than anybody else on that track. Like,
he was taking the
crashed because I think he crashed because he hit a dirty part of the track.
Easy.
Like, and I can fully see him. Maybe not in Phillip Island, but in Thailand, Malaysia, Qatar, and Valencia, I can fully see him pulling a gap again because he is so fast. And Bagnaia was absolutely amazing because right from Friday, when he was like in Q1, I kind of wrote him off. I was like, you know what? He's have a stinker here. You know, Martin's right there. The pressure's rising. Wah! And then qualifying comes along and his own teammate knocks him out and he has to start 13th. And then you're like, wow. And then he loses the championship lead on Saturday. Yep. So his head's probably 7 points back. His head's probably like shot, like, no, I can't do this. But as we've said so many times on this podcast, Bagnaia is the king of comebacks. He loves a comeback.
Yep.
Like we saw last year. And he was like 13th place, second in the championship. Let's go. And he just murked a lot of them and won the race.
That's it. As soon as he's written off, he's like, oh, well, I'll just go win then, I suppose.
Yeah.
Fine. And then, no matter
he loves being the underdog.
Yeah, like, no matter the degree to which he's written off. Last year, what, 90-point deficit?
91 points.
Utterly written off. He's like, oh, well, I suppose I'll just win everything now. Will I? Yeah. And it's like, this weekend, it's like, oh, he's crumbled under the pressure. You know, he's lost the lead. He had a 60-point advantage, yada, yada. That's it. Bagnaia's done. He's like, oh, well, suppose I'll go and win, shall I?
Yeah.
Now that I've lost the lead in the championship, I'll pick it back up again. Getting a bit close. Do you know what it feels like? It's like that scene in The Incredibles where they're like right at the end when they're a normal family and trying to blend in with civilians and young, is it Dash, the kid?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like in that sprinting race and he's like, win, but not by too much. Drop back a bit. Drop back. Win again. Keep going. And then like it just wins by a bit. That is what the end of this season is going to feel like. So that was an audio description of a meme, everybody.
I like it.
That's what's going to happen. However, I think Martin's going to win the championship. But anyway.
I could see it, but if he stays on.
If he stays on.
Yeah, because he hasn't really crashed. Obviously, this one since Kota. No. I think I said on last time on the podcast a few weeks ago that I was like, "Oh, Martin hasn't crashed in ages." I think I may have said that he even had a crash in him. Can't remember. I'm not going to try and give myself glory for that, but I think now he's done that, he knows how good it feels to lead that championship, how good it feels to be on top and be the man. And then he also knows how it feels to lose that. I think that's only going to motivate him.
Yeah.
To just push and just win it.
I mean, he's certainly, clearly at the moment, he is the faster of the two.
Yeah.
This weekend, I'm going to give him a pass for binning it because everyone was binning it. You just had to be
it was
slightly offline and your grip was gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he was maybe getting like slightly complacent out front or whatever, or the heat. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's just gonna come back and it'll just be business as usual. Probably at Phillip Island, to be honest, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's gonna be interesting, I think. I think it's now a shootout between Bagnaia and Martin. There are, of course, a lot of riders still in contention. I think it's, let's have a look, what is it? 346 minus 185 is 161. So Zarco, Vinales, Espargaro, Binder, Bezecchi, Martin and Bagnaia are still in contention. But I think it will go down to the last two because, I mean, Bagnaia is already, you've got Bezecchi 283, Bagnaia 346. That's nearly 60-point gap nearly, I think.
It's going to be a lot to claw back considering the form.
Yeah, 63.
Yeah.
Which is Bagnaia's number. Yeah, like, again, I think it's too much at this stage of the season.
Yeah.
With carrying a collarbone injury as well, I just think it's just not, it's a bridge too far to climb, shall we say.
Yes.
But yeah, so
we shall see.
We shall indeed. Yeah, heading into Moto 2, where the championship race is a little bit more obvious, I think, at this point, with 5 races to go and a 65-point lead, I think it is now, for Pedro Acosta.
It's kind of done, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't see him losing that now, to be honest. Like, stranger things have happened. He could snap his leg and miss the rest of the season, but
well, he broke his leg last year. Why not?
He did.
This year? Not that he was out for very long, but
no.
I mean, like a broken leg would be kind of the end of the season now, wouldn't it? Considering how many rounds we got in such short space of time, but yeah, like barring injury, it's pretty much Pecco's now, isn't it? If you want to.
Pecco's,
not Pecco, Pedro's. Do you know why I said that? It's because right, myself and my wife, whenever Moto2 is on, like, so we're both obviously Pedro fans, unbiased, all that, but you know, Pedro fans. And like the way that his name appears on like the grid on just the side of the screen, it tells you what position everybody's in.
Yeah,
his says P Acco, so we just call him Paco. And then I always end up getting Paco and Pecco mixed up now, which
okay,
is very confusing for my wife, who's not an avid follower. She's like, "Wait, do we like who's Pecco, who's Paco?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, Paco, yeah." So that's why I said that. Sorry to digress. Carry on.
It's all right. Yeah, it's a nice little fact. I like it. But yeah, I think he's actually one of Pedro Acosta's close friends is called Paco as well. So
knew it.
It's a good one for you.
I am as well. Don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
One of his friends. I know Paco well.
Paco, yeah, best mates. But yeah, it's quite funny again that we saw yet another P2 for Aaron Canet and yet another P5 for Manuel Gonzalez.
Pain.
Like the pair of them, they just love that position. Like Manu, that's his best ever result, P5. And he's had it this season alone. He's had it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Whoa! High fives all around.
Yeah! Wow! Look
Whoa!
At that. Yeah,
I'm sure he's thrilled. I mean, worse things than finishing 5th fairly consistently in what's arguably the sort of most competitive class in the world at the moment.
In the world, yeah.
Hardest, toughest nut to crack, I would say, is maybe the way of putting it. Hell of an effort, but yeah, he'll just be like, can I just finish 4th at least, please?
Yeah,
maybe a podium would be great. Yeah.
I think of Manu, his best result after 5th will be a race win.
Do you reckon?
I reckon he'll break that duck by winning the race, yeah.
He'll just find that little extra bit that'll take him
Yeah,
to the
because
win.
he was really good at Sepang last year, for example. I think he'll just find that little click he needs and he'll just go and win the race. And be like, oh, break my duck by winning the race. And Canet will be like, for God's sake, not the other one.
yeah. Oh, great.
Somebody else.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, it's just a shame, really. Like,
it's a shame that it's not,
yeah,
having a great life, gotta say. But
yeah, there's worse lives you can have, I guess.
Yeah, you could have mine. But anyway.
Wow. Yeah, it's nice to see Fermin Aldiger on the box as well.
Yeah. Finally. I mean, he's always had it. God knows what happened since, Argentina last year.
Well, he did win a race at Silverstone this year as well.
Forgot that. Yeah. What I mean is words to the effect of we should be seeing...
He's not lived up to the hype that we gave him last year.
Yeah, that's it. Because obviously when he was in the... Is it Chev or Chiv or whatever? I can't remember.
Yeah, the Chev.
Yeah, and he just like destroyed absolutely everyone and then came in, did a few wild cards and did solid.
He did very well, yeah.
I just expected him to, like, once he was a full-time rider, to be on a sort of Pedro Acosta kind of level, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not been quite the same. Granted, he's not been on a Cal-X. Maybe it would have been a different story. But
yeah.
Yeah, I have expected a little more, but he's still hella young. He's still hella fast. He's got loads of time. Yeah, I think he'll be next year's Acosta. There's my bet.
I hope so. That's a big bet.
Nice, big bet.
It is. And then move to Moto3, and then we'll go into our predictions. Diego Moreira, where the hell was that come from? And why have we not seen that since the second round of the season? Like,
yeah,
he kind of came into the season, was like, oh yeah, here's 2 podiums, I'm going to dip now, see you later.
Yep.
It just comes and wins. But oh, it's annoying. It's like I was thinking about this the other day. Like, yes, he's won a race now. That's amazing for him, and it bodes really well for the future in Moto3. And I'd be like, oh yeah, you could probably go for the title next year in Moto3, maybe in a solid team. You know, IO have had their eyes on him for years now. Even tested their bike a couple of years ago, Catalonia. But no, he's off to Moto2 next year with Italtrans, and you're like, one more year in Moto3 could have done him a hell of a lot of good. Like, I don't blame him for stepping up to Moto2 if you get that opportunity in a good team, but
is he quite a big guy? I don't really know.
I don't really know. I've never actually searched it. It doesn't seem that big.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's like a stature thing is maybe better.
Yeah, I was born the day after me.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, well, not years-wise, Jesus Christ, but he's a little baby, 2004 he is.
Nah.
Let's have a look. Yeah, 2004 he was born.
I can vividly remember playing Need for Speed Underground that year. He was just born. There you go.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Right, I can't find him by just searching it, so I'm going to have to go buy MotoGP's website because MotoGP's results don't show up in Google search because their SEO sucks. Anyway, let's go.
Shocking,
and have
isn't
a look.
It? Absolutely mental that the official website just doesn't
show up.
Yeah.
But Autosport and all that does. Mental.
Yeah, CrashNet, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's 170 centimeters, which is about 5'6".
Yeah, he's not a big guy.
5'5'7", yeah. So
yeah,
not that big. It's
nah.
weird.
No, interesting. Oh well, but like you said, you can't. They're like when the opportunity comes knocking, you gotta take it.
You gotta go. But very nice to see him win. Alonso back on the box.
Yep,
he's only 29 points off that title lead. You know. So Masia was like he's okay in 6th. Holgado was 14th. Sasaki was at 18th. They pretty much just handed Alonso a golden opportunity to close up, and he's taken it with the 2nd place, which is hilarious as well. His first ever podium in Moto3 that isn't... Oh, no, it's not. Ignore me. His first ever podium in Moto3 is not a win, but he got a podium in Jerez earlier this year. Yeah, but it sucks because you look at that and you're like, wow, 29 points off. No, is it 29? Yeah, 29 points off. If he had won that race in Austria, he'd be leading the championship now. When he crashed from the lead.
Maths.
And if he'd have won that race, he'd have gained 25 and obviously a 29-point deficit, and everybody else would have dropped down a spot.
Where did Masia finish in Austria?
He DNF'd. So actually, yeah, he'd be 4 behind. 4 behind. That makes sense now. But
still, though, like much more of a dangled carrot, 4 points than 29. But anyway, I'm sure he's maybe starting to believe.
I would believe it if I was him. Yeah,
I would believe.
I believe. I think he's done one of these tracks as well last year or the year before. Let's have a check. Yes. No. He did the Emilia Romagna back in 2021. It was when it was like, for some reason, 16th round of the season after America. Weird. But yeah, so he hasn't ever ridden any of these tracks. But it's not really stopped him, has it? Like, you look at India, 5th, Japan, 7th, Indonesia, 2nd.
Yeah.
I mean, really stop any of these. Like, these days, these kids can come to the track and just learn it. Like, Colin Vaya was 4th. He's never ridden Indonesia in his life.
I'm never predicting Vaya for a 3rd place again, ever. Because he comes 4th.
He'll do it in Australia.
Yeah,
Australia, when there's 20 riders going for the victory on the last lap.
Yep. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Tatsuki Suzuki has been replaced by Adrian Fernandez for the rest of the season.
Oh, has he?
He has, because he crashed out of Japan and India, 15th in Mazzano, and the team were like, oh, you're probably just a bit injured, a bit tired. You know what? Take the next 2 races off and we'll see you back in Thailand. You know, take a break. And he basically told them to get stuffed. and was like, I'm just not going to ride for you anymore. See you later. And he's riding intact next year, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, true. Fair. I mean, hard to argue with in a way, but he has been crap this year.
Well, consider his teammates leading the championship, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Suzuki, he won in Argentina, am I right?
Yeah, he did win in Argentina, yeah, you are right.
But only because Masia binned it.
Yeah, because Minho knocked him off, I think. No, Minho didn't knock him off. Somebody knocked him off. I can't remember who. Minho got a podium that race.
Oh, I thought Masia I thought he was like 5 seconds clear and he just washed out.
I'm sure he got knocked off. I'm sure of it. I could be wrong.
I mean, God, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, so let alone 6 months ago in Argentina. No, I don't know. That's fine. Cool. Suzuki's out. It's just chilling out now for the rest of the season. Yeah, cool.
Chilling, resting.
Do your thing.
Sitting in Italy, doing whatever he does best. I don't know. Well, he can't really hang out with his mates, Cassaday and Bastianini at the moment, because they're over racing in Moto2 and MotoGP.
Yeah.
So,
oh, well. He'll live, I'm sure. He'll see them again.
Well, yes. But, all right, we'll head into predictions now. So we talk about Indonesia's once and then head into Australia. So we're going to try and do this as fast as we can because I'm sure it's not the most interesting. Not interesting, but it's just hearing us going,
nah, this is the best
I don't know.
This is the best bit. I don't know that. No one's told me that, but I feel like this is the best bit.
Yeah. So I messed up, by the way. So heading into... I know, that never happens. Indonesia. I led the championship with 241. Cameron second, 226. Lauren with 142. In Moto3, it was on the podium Moreira. No, it was Moreira pole. I went for Sasaki, so did Lauren. Jay, and you went for Mazia, 0 points. Podium was... I messed up twice here. Oh, dear.
What do you mean?
I have less points than I thought I did.
Oh, 2, good.
5. Oh dear, it's bad. For me. Right, so yeah. It was, I put Mazia, Sasaki, Alonso. Alonso was second. I get 1 point.
Yep.
Oh my god, because I thought Alonso was third, but he was second. You put Mazia, Alonso, Via. So you get 5 points.
So close, Via. Come on!
I know. And then, what's the face? Lauren went Sasaki, Mazia, Holgado. All 3 of them were off the game this weekend.
Yeah, they were.
So, you actually have 2, 3, 1. So, after Moto 3, I leave with 242, Cameron 231, Lauren 142. Then here's where I messed up a second time.
No.
So I need to work out that is 2, 4, 2. Right, and then +5 on that one. Oh my god, it's close. Right, so.
Oh no.
Canet got pole in Moto 2. I went for Dixon, Cameron Chantra, Lauren Acosta. Too many words here. Right, the actual race was Acosta, Canet, Aldeguer. I went Chantra, Acosta, Arbolino, so I get a point. You, Cameron, went Acosta, Chantra, Roberts. So you get 10. Lauren went Acosta, Chantra, Lowe's, 10 points. Ooh. So now it's 243 for me, 242 for you, and 152 for Lauren. So there's 1 point in it.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
And then in MotoGP, we and you went Martin for pole, Lauren Marquez, 0 points. We all went for Martin to win the sprint, so points across the board.
Okay.
In the main race, I went Martin, Marquez, Bagnaia. I get a point because I got Bagnaia on the podium. You went Martin, Bagnaia, Espargaro, so you get a point. Lauren went Martin, Quartararo, Oliveira, so she gets a point. So we all scored 11. So leaving that and heading to Australia, I leave with 254. You have 253, and Lauren has 163.
Oh my goodness!
Jesus Christ!
This is like BSB.
Yeah.
All these points, all these rounds, all these predictions, and there's a point
it's crazy.
I love it.
So, I need your Moto3 pole position, please.
Moto3 pole position. Now, I'm starting to take things a little seriously here. So,
yeah, don't blame you.
I don't know if you looked at the forecast, but it's looking rather iffy for the Saturday.
Is it?
There's a thunderstorm even on this little graphic I'm looking at. I'm on yourweather.co.uk, so I don't know how reliable that is. Maybe any Australian listeners can let me know if your preferred meteorological service. But anyway, so it looks like it's going to be hot, potentially quite wet.
Yeah.
For a pole in those kind of conditions, I'm going to be looking at... Is anyone injured, first of all?
Don't believe so, no.
I'm going to be looking at... Let's have Onchu.
Okay, I've gone Mazia.
Right, predictable.
Right, I'm going to go Mazia third. You're going to go...
I'm going to go... Oh, God. Holgado.
Nice, okay. Who are you going second?
Why. Second, I'll have Alonso again, please.
Nice. I've gone Sasaki. And to win, I've gone Alonso.
Oh, okay. I'll have Masia
You're
for the win.
going with?
Masia, yeah.
Masia, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, sticking with you for Moto2 pole.
I mean, do you really have to ask?
No.
I'll have Acosta, please.
Yeah. I've also got Acosta and I've gone Dixon third.
Oh,
you're going to go for?
I was thinking about Dixon, but I won't now, just to keep things nice.
Okay.
Third. Let's go. Third place. Phillip Island Moto2 bike. Who's going to be good? I think I'll have... I want one of the Bosco scooter bikes, I think.
Well, there's one who's on the podium the weekend just gone. So.
There was, but there was one that won it last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, but Lopez has been off it, so I'm gonna go. I'll go Aldeguer. Let's see if he'll build some momentum.
Okay, I like it. Okay. Second place. I think I'll stick with you. Second place.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll do my best, but I don't know if I'll come in second. But second, let's have. Second place, I'm gonna go with. Let's have Dixon for second.
Nice. I have gone with Manuel Gonzalez.
Oh,
so I'm gonna. Wait. So despite saying his thing's going to be a victory earlier this year, I'm going to go with second place.
Of course, makes sense.
Just to be a raging hypocrite, of course.
Yeah, nice.
And not stick to my word. Love that for me. For the win, it's a no-brainer. Pedro Costa.
Yes, please.
Yep. Okay. So Cameron, I'm going to stick with you for MotoGP pole position, please.
MotoGP pole. Oh, try and think of the nature of Phillip Island here. I wanted to say Bez, but
yeah,
got that injury. You've got you've got some couple of really heavy braking sections, so maybe not. I'll take one scoop of Pecco, please.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with last year's pole man, Jorge Martin.
Whoa, bold move.
I know, scary. And guess who I picked for the sprint race winner?
Oh, God.
Jorge Martin.
Okay. Well, to keep things interesting, then, I feel like I'm going to have to go someone else. For a
you have to go for Bagnaia.
I know. Whoa, so interesting.
Whoa.
No, do you know what? Oh, God, but then also I don't want to.
I can't wait for a sprint around Phillip Island. Think about it.
Wow. I know. But then if it's going to be raining...
Marquez.
I know that did cross my mind when Marquez, but then also I don't know, the 1 lap thing on the Honda isn't working this year, kind of like it did last year either. Pole position is gonna be Aleix.
Okay.
Oh, God,
okay.
It's not gonna though, is it?
That's the sprint race win, by the way.
Oh God. Oh well.
Sorry, you can change it. You can change it. You can change it.
Who did I even say for pole? What planet am I on?
You said Bagnaia.
said Bagnaia.
He's tired, everyone.
I am tired. Sprint race.
Take advantage of him whilst he's tired. Make him say stupid things.
If it's gonna be raining.
Did you? Of course. That's why.
I know. It's gonna be raining. Sprint race win. Let's have Brad for another sprint win.
Nice. Love that. Every time you said. To be fair, you always go Binder, don't you? No, Miller, don't you, instead?
I used to, yeah. But
yeah.
Yeah.
You realise the error of your ways.
Well, it certainly proved me wrong. He slapped me about those predictions, didn't he? Jesus.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. I'll stick with you for third, though.
Third place.
I've already got mine written out on the screen. I'm ready. Like,
have you? You're ready. Third place.
I'm ready. SpongeBob reference.
Again, third place. We got any fun wild cards? Have we got a Danny
Probably
Pedrosa
not.
here? No.
I wish. I
know.
Casey Stone apparently is hopping on one of those VR46 bikes. He's not.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
It's a joke.
I'd actually cry.
Oh yeah.
What about Alex Marquez?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Fair.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's injured.
Oh yeah. You can retract that because he's injured.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Let's go Fabio again.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I've gone for Marquez as well, but his brother Mark.
Yeah.
Second place, I've got Bagnaia.
I was also going to go Pecco.
Okay, are you going to stick with Pecco?
Yeah.
Who are you going for the win?
Martin. I think we're finally going to get a nice juicy little
Same.
battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Around Phillip Island will be lovely.
I might stay up for it, actually.
Yeah.
Can't
Big shout out to Alex
that.
Rinzo in 9th as well, by the way, Indonesia. Considering his legs destroyed.
Yeah, and he's on a horrendous motorcycle. Very pretty, though. That Castrol livery.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
jeez.
Yeah, my God damn.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah, but yeah, I might stay up for it as well, to be fair.
Just for the livery.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for more special helmets this weekend.
That could be taken so wrong.
Yeah, you love a special helmet, don't you?
Anyway, I can't wait to see what Jack Miller has in store there for his lid design. I think it'd be quite nice.
Yeah, you ready for him to get taken out on Miller Corner again?
Oh God, the irony was insane.
Disgusting.
Unreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when Lorenzo got destroyed at his own corner by Marquez. It's the other Marquez on this occasion. It's Alex at Miller corner and then it's Mark at Lorenzo corner.
Oh, I tell you, this is a little bit of a tangent, but do you know what I hate? And do you know what is so... It's like, obviously, I know that for some reason, MotoGP fans on social media are
toxic.
Pretty, they're cretins a lot of the time. But this, I keep seeing this, they keep calling Marc Marquez Crash Kez.
Oh, it's cringy. It's like slander or something.
Yeah, it is the most.
What Cal Crashlow, Sam Low Slide.
Yeah, it is the most forced to fit, cringy,
slander names,
stupid thing that I feel like I've ever seen, and it makes me want to vomit every time I see it. So,
oh yeah,
I don't know.
Or Mark Crash. I've seen that a lot.
Crash. Yeah.
The best one was Prosecco Bagnaia. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
That was a great one.
Especially considering the DUI. But anyway.
Yeah. Or Alex Bins for when he crashes.
Alex Bins or Alex wins. That's always great. Yeah. But when it's used to I don't know, voice some kind of negative connotation towards the rider. I'm like, oh my god, you sad bastard, basically. But
oh yeah.
Anyway,
it's tragic.
I just had to, tragic. I had to get that off the chest. Yep.
There are some really good slander names though. Like, I can't even think of any. Like, because Formula One have loads. Like, okay. And so it's kind of just like merged its way over to MotoGP a bit. Like, but yeah, like when Lorenzo's a bit slow as well, it's like Jorge Slorenzo.
Slorenzo.
Yeah, so like Miller has one. I can't remember.
God. Is that what this is then? Are we no better than Formula One fans? Is it
pretty much.
Come on, people.
I'll see if I can find some quickly. Search on Twitter, that always has the answer.
Please comment on wherever you're listening to this with your favourite bit of cringy motorcycle rider slander name, conglomeration, spoonerism thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
I found some tweets from Formula One fans saying every time someone mentions Pecco, I think it's a Checo Perez slander name. Someone's like, what a slander name. I never knew Pecco was a MotoGP rider. I thought it was a Perez slander name.
Okay.
Yeah, people need to be a bit more imaginative than Marc Marquez or
just stop being a dick, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I found there are some really good ones I read in the comments sometimes. Like, I can't find any, of course, now when I need them to.
On the spot, mate. Come on, quickly, give me 10. Quick fire, imaginative new ones that are your favourites.
I did
make from the web.
I made a fun one earlier because Maverick Vinales went on the podium in a Batman thing, so I called him Batmav.
Yeah, Batman. I thought that was the joke, Batmav. That was so well done. Yeah. I thought that was the actual joke.
Maybe been. I thought of it myself, to be honest, that one, but I was probably copied from somewhere. Probably. I'm not that original as I thought, apparently.
Batmav.
Anyway, we probably should end this podcast.
End the podcast like for good or like just for today.
Yeah, for today, just for today.
All right, okay, cool, no problem at all. That's fine. Well,
I hope you've all enjoyed listening to this podcast.
I do too.
We're back next weekend after Phillip Island with more analysis and maybe a photo of a tattoo as well on somebody's leg of my flipping logo. What an idiot.
And if you've enjoyed the podcast, rate us wherever you found us. Yeah, because it helps other people find us too. Good times.
Yeah. Thanks for all the lovely comments we keep getting as well through on social media. It's genuinely appreciated. It makes my old cold heart maybe a little bit warmer for like 10 seconds, and then I go to be cold again.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. And anybody who is playing bingo and me laughing at my own jokes and taking a shot each time, I hope you're very drunk.
Oh, is there bingo?
Yeah, have you not seen the MotoGP bingo card for Everything Moto Racing's podcast?
Oh my god. No, I don't think I have.
I think Josh, I can't remember his surname, made it ages ago. Brilliant, but...
Need to make one. Yeah. Maybe there needs to be an updated one. I don't know. I need to see this. It's the season.
Tis the season to be jolly. It's November. It's October. It's not even Halloween yet.
Nearly. How spooky. Yeah. Anyway, jeez.
Anyway, goodbye. Thank you for listening. Adios, amigos.
Bye.
See you later.